ask that you stay on the sidewalk just for safety reasons, okay, sir?
You're more than welcome to be a cop. I just ask that you not like hurt people unnecessarily.
Okay.
Go away.
Make sure you stay on the sidewalk.
Yeah, make sure you don't be an asshole, okay?
Okay.
Just try not to do that.
I'm not being an asshole right now.
Oh, yeah, no. And I'm not off the sidewalk right now.
I know. I'm just letting you know.
As if I didn't.
Do you write us?
Yeah, okay. Public property.
Choose on place department.
Yeah, public property.
City property.
Public property. Yeah. I see there's an exercise going on. I can understand how that might limit access in some way. Authorized personnel and vehicles only. There we go. Restricted area of public property, but restricted. I don't know if you noticed that I don't take your word for anything.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
You working here or something, or?
Well, yeah, technically, yeah.
Okay.
I am, but
Can I help you with anything?
no, I don't need any help with anything right now.
Okay.
Can I get your name and badge number, though?
Sure, Kuhn, KUHN, Shield 17. Can I ask you what you're doing?
17. I'm just taking video and picture. How you doing, sir?
Of what?
What?
We got a in the parking lot. Myself and Officer King.
How you doing?
You're
Can I
not allowed
get-
to be. You're not
can-
allowed to be in this area.
Can I get your name and badge number?
You can read it right there, but you're not allowed to be. You're not allowed to be in this area. You have any business here?
I do have business here, yeah.
What's your business?
I don't have to tell you that.
What's your business?
I don't have to tell you. Hey, whoa.
What's your business?
Just relax, man. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it is a big deal because you're not allowed to be in this area. This is for authorized personnel only.
That's
So
not.
if you'd like to go in the lot,
That's not true.
you can go sit over
There's no sign saying authorized personnel only. So
No, well, I'm telling you that. So you can go into the
no,
parking
you
lot and
can't
stand
just.
over
This
there
is
freely.
a public parking lot. So
No,
what
it's not.
happens is Geyer.
No,
Is that how I say that?
It's
this
not.
is a public parking
It's
lot.
not.
Yeah, because it's funded by
It's not.
taxpayer.
It's not.
You're wrong.
It's not. You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. Listen, buddy, we can go take a walk over here, and you can go stand over there. We can have this conversation.
You could take a walk over there if you'd like. There is no signs deeming this a restricted area.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I'm telling you.
You can't just deem an area restricted that's open to the public.
So then maybe you're having a hard time listening. Okay, that's what the issue could be here.
No,
I'm just trying to tell you, bro.
I don't think
we'll
that's
take
it.
a walk over here.
Yeah.
That's it. You're not allowed to be over here.
Yeah, no, I understand. But what I'm telling you is you can't just make an area restricted. It has to be restricted already. This is not a restricted area
No,
here.
you're sadly mistaken, pal.
Okay.
You're sadly mistaken.
Okay. Why don't we get a supervisor out here?
Why don't we walk over here where you're allowed to be,
I'm
or we can
gonna-
have an issue?
Oh, what's the issue? Is that a threat?
No, that I'm telling you right now, you're not allowed to be in this area, bro.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm asking
you're
for
not
a supervisor.
understanding. You're not
I'm
understanding.
asking for a supervisor.
You're not understanding.
Does your policy not
That's
state?
what I'm saying. I
Does your
think you're having a
policy?
hard time.
Does your policy state?
You have issues or something like
No, I
hearing?
think
you
you
have
have.
issues hearing?
I think you have
You're
some
not
anger
allowed
issues,
to be in
buddy.
this area, dude.
This
That's
guy
what I'm trying
came
to tell
over
you.
here.
Come over here and walk over here.
There's a complete difference. See, this is the contrast in America of you got cops like you,
yeah.
and then you got cops like you.
Listen,
Cops who want to
we're trying to-
escalate and cops who want to
we're
de-escalate.
trying
There's
to
a
tell you
difference.
very nicely. You're
That's
not
how
listening.
good cops get hurt because people like you,
Okay.
when they go in all gun ho.
Okay.
Let me finish what I'm
No,
saying.
hold on.
I was
You're
just
not
finished what
listening.
I'm saying.
Can I have your
That's
ID,
all.
please, so we know who we're talking to?
No, you're not going to get my ID. I haven't committed a crime unless I've
You
committed
are,
a
you're
crime.
trespassing, just like
No,
Officer Guy said.
no.
So you see this area. Why do you think the public's not here? Why do you think nobody walks
Because
here?
they're choosing not to be here.
No, it's
This-
not because they're not.
This
here.
is not a
Come here, I'll show you
restrict. This is
something.
not a. It's
Come here, I'll show you
authorized.
something. We're trying to
Authorized.
show you, man.
I don't need to go look at it. I read it already.
Come here, let's just-
Authorized vehicles
And
only.
personnel.
No. Authorized vehicles. I am not in a vehicle, as you can see.
Watch out, your shoes are untied. I don't want you to slip and fall on.
Okay, I'm fine. This is not. I'm not in a vehicle.
Okay, so here's the problem.
Authorized
So
vehicles.
here's the problem. You're telling me you're not going to tell me your business, right? That's what you're telling me?
I'm telling you right
Hold
now
on,
that I'm
you're
a
telling me-
journalist. I'm going to tell you, I'm a journalist working on a story, and that's as
Okay.
much I'm going to say.
But you're
I'm
refusing to tell
engaging.
me.
I'm engaging
So,
in a
hold on.
constitutionally
But
protected
you're refusing
activity.
to tell me who you are, correct?
Because I don't
hold
have
on,
to.
Hold on. Because right now you're a complete stranger. I got a stranger over my work area, walk around videoing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what your intentions are, correct?
You have-
Correct?
you-
I have no idea. Because you know what's not normal? There's a guy. Where's your credential? If you're a journalist, that's fine. Where's your credential, sir?
You don't need credentials, and I don't need to provide you with anything unless you have reasonable, articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime.
What
I'm
kind of
about to commit a
suspicion?
crime.
What kind of suspicion?
Reasonable, articulable. Did you learn that in training or no? Okay.
We don't-
So
we don't
reasonable.
use that. We
You don't use that over here.
We don't use that phrase.
I mean,
Reasonable,
every police.
articulable?
Reasonable, articulable suspison.
I never heard those two words used together.
Wow, that's
Okay.
kind of scary.
No.
That's kind of scary.
I'm just saying.
It's very important to your job because you can't do anything without that, without reasonable articulable suspicion.
Because now,
no, well, who said you touched me? I didn't say you touched me.
Now I have a person, and I don't know intentions in our work area. We're not supposed to be videotaping. You don't see that as being suspicious?
There is nothing preventing me from being here, number one. Number two, I'm engaging in a constitutionally protected activity.
Such as?
Filming. It's a constitutionally protected activity. I'm an independent.
Nobody's told you not to film.
I'm an independent journalist, and I'm gathering content for a
nobody's told you
story.
not to film, correct?
I'm not saying that.
Film me.
But
I'm trying to find out where you're here. You're being evasive. Okay.
I just told you that. I just told you everything I need to tell you.
I'm just trying so we can engage who we're talking to. We can keep ourselves safe, right? So I can know who I'm talking to.
I never. You guys are the ones with the weapons, not me. You guys should feel.
What does weapons have to do with anything?
Because you're saying you don't feel safe with a guy with a camera. Come on, man. In the middle of broad daylight.
Okay, and what are you going to do with the video, right? Because now listen to me. So now I got a subject, videotaping comings and goings, videotaping the entire layout of this parking lot. Yep. What am I supposed to say people are going to do with that?
I don't know. You could get it from Google Maps if you wanted to. Come on, man.
I'm not worried about Google Maps. I'm worried about a subject here who refuses to tell me his name.
Yeah, I'm a good citizen. That's what I am. I'm a good citizen
here. Anybody say you weren't?
I'm not saying. Listen,
you're being evasive.
I told you what I'm here to do. How am I being evasive? Would be I'm not. Well, listen. Evasive would be I'm not going to answer your questions and then spin off and walk away from you because you have no authority here.
Nobody's trying to listen. Here's the bottom line.
I told you what I'm doing.
Once again, I'm just trying to explain to you. This area, you gotta understand where we're coming from. All right. There's cops that are getting ambushed and shot every single day. Okay. Just like that.
Just like there's people being killed by cops every single day. Yes, it works both ways.
It does. 100%. Not disagreeing with you.
And I understand that.
But I'm just telling you right now, from our standpoint, you're asking why we're approaching you, asking you questions.
No. See, that's where you're mistaken.
Okay.
I fully expect you to do your job and come up to me and ask questions. That's what I expect. That.
Somebody who I am, okay. I work with, as a part of what my gig is I make sure that I facilitate the bond between the community and policing. So how about this?
Really?
I can offer you a little bit more help. But once again, we need to know who we're speaking with and what type of credentials you have as far as what type of project you're working on. So I just told you. If you have, it could be to the point you want to come on a ride along, we'll take you on a ride along, man.
Yeah.
It could be to that point.
That's not what I want to do at this moment.
But I'm just saying, if you're walking around in an area that's for authorized personnel only, and you're not explaining.
But that's not true. I read the sign.
What does the sign say?
It says
word for word.
Authorized vehicles only. Authorized. There is no. I'm not in a vehicle. I'm on foot.
What else does it say?
Authorized vehicles only. That's what it says.
So let me ask you this.
I'm not in a vehicle.
Let me push a hypothetical, right?
I mean,
so you think at this point you can just walk in all around that station, right? You can walk in, go wherever you want.
No.
Well, why? Hold on. Well, why?
Because you have locks on certain doors.
Hold on, but why? But is there any sign saying you can't?
Well, if you lock the door.
So hold on, but there's an expectation. Okay, that's what I'm getting. There's an expectation. You're telling me you can't freely walk through that building, right? Because it's a police station, right?
No, because you set up barriers. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
You've had your chance.
I'll let you finish.
Okay, because there's an expectation that's not normal, right? You see anybody else just walking through here because it seems normal to walk through here?
But what's normal to you, it might not be normal to me. What's weird to you might be, this is the United States of America. We can have difference of opinion.
Let me ask you this. So most journalists, right? They want to come in, they want to do stories, they want to get information.
Yeah.
You know what they do? They call up and they make appointments. So that way, guess what you could do? You could walk around here and say, "Hey, officer."
But why would I do that? Why would I do that when I can do it anyway? Why would I call if I could just do it anyway?
We wouldn't be doing this, would we?
I mean, you could do this all you'd like. Am I detained?
Right now, yes. Until we figure out for sure what you're doing,
so
yes.
You're telling me that I'm detained?
Yes. Until I can figure out who you are.
Interesting. Okay, this is an unlawful detainment, just so you know.
Okay. Well, until I can figure out what your true intentions are. You're telling me you're a journalist.
So can you tell me what crime? Can you articulate a crime that I've committed?
I don't have to detain you for a crime. This is suspicious right now.
So
this is suspicious activity.
Is suspicious a misdemeanor or a felony?
Not suspicious activity right now. I got to try to find out what you're doing.
Is suspicious activity, sir, a misdemeanor or a felony?
Well, it all depends on how you want to speak. It all depends on what you're doing, doesn't it?
It's neither.
I don't know what your business
It's neither.
Is. I don't know.
It's neither. I'm here conducting my own business. Now I'm not free to leave. I'm being detained against my will, unlawfully, for no crime I've committed.
Until we can prove what you're doing.
I'd like to speak to a supervisor, please.
Absolutely.
And since I'm being detained, I'm
Absolutely.
I'm gonna.
Absolutely. We'll
Just
have
gonna-
supervisor come talk to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have just been really easy, man. You could have just told us what
You guys are going above and beyond your authority. You have no authority to detain me. None. Zero.
Listen,
When I have a stranger walk around where I work,
That's not true. Hopefully you'll learn
you're a
something
stranger.
today.
I don't know you. How's
It doesn't
that
matter
not
if I'm a stranger or not. It doesn't matter. What does that matter?
Normal activity and
You
behavior.
enforce
Nobody does
you
that.
enforce the law. If I'm not breaking any laws, you have no business with me.
There's people coming in and out of here. As far as cars coming in and out, you can get yourself hurt. All right, so you don't.
Yeah,
have any business standing out.
I'm a grown man and I know how to walk through a parking lot.
Well, your shoes are untied. You're grown, but
Yeah.
your shoes are untied. I don't really. That doesn't really go hand in hand with me,
Okay.
man. It doesn't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I told you your shoes are untied. I'm trying to explain to you, and
Okay.
you just you're
So,
refusing to
this
give us any
gentleman here,
information.
I walked in. He's walking around.
Hey, how are you, sir?
and-
Sergeant.
And going through. So I come over, try to talk to him, try to engage him.
Can you take me off of this unlawful detainment, Sergeant, before I'm being unlawfully detained? So.
You're not being detained. We're just
Yeah,
trying
no,
to tell you, move on your way, man.
this guy told me I was being
No,
detained.
listen, I told him he's staying here, trying to figure out what he's doing. He just want to get his name. Which is
So
fine.
I'm sure as the
He's
sergeant
not
would
going
know,
to, he's got
you
no
can't detain me
credentials, he's
for no reason.
A journalist.
I am a journalist.
Walking through our work area, he's over by
This
all
is
our
public.
vehicles.
This is
So,
public.
You know, things have been, up and down. But, so the journalist doesn't want to provide any sort of credentials, doesn't want to
I
tell
don't
us
have
his
to,
name,
that's
doesn't
why.
want to tell us why he's
I've been
here.
very, very decent with you guys, though.
We said you haven't been disrespectful. We're
Yeah.
just trying to figure out what you're doing.
No, but
Because
what
again-
you're doing right now, officer, is that you're violating my rights. I'm a free man, and you're telling me that I'm
Not when you're
detained.
conducting suspicious behavior.
That's not
I
a
can
crime,
detain you
sir.
for that.
You have to learn the
Nobody
law,
says it's a crime,
Sergeant.
but
Can
I
you
can
please?
detain
I
you
want.
for suspicious
I would appreciate it if you could please,
Here's
de-escalate
the deal,
this
sir,
and.
okay? My officers are doing the right thing. You're in our parking lot, taking photographs and everything. Not illegal, okay? But certainly something for us to be concerned about, okay?
Which is
There's
okay.
a lot of attacks against police. There's a lot,
Sure,
of, a lot
yeah.
of stuff going on. In the
There's a
world
lot of
today,
stuff going
right?
on. If I'm not everybody's
so you're
part.
here with your phone. This is, I mean, it's not fenced in or anything like
Exactly.
that. But not necessarily just open to the public. Okay.
Well, unless
This
it's
is
unless
our
it's unless it's
private-
restricted.
This is our private
Okay,
lot.
I'll let you
all right?
finish.
There are signs mostly for vehicular traffic,
Mm-hmm.
but it does say unauthorized people not allowed to come in.
Vehicles. I
Vehicles.
read
I
the
said
sign.
that. It's mostly for vehicles.
Yeah.
Okay. But again, this is why you were stopped.
Yeah.
Is because it's not necessarily illegal what you're doing,
Mm.
but certainly a little suspicious as to why. If someone just showed up at your house, granted that's private property, a little bit different.
Yeah.
But or say you're parked in Walmart, right? And you come outside, someone's taking pictures of your car, looking inside of your car,
Yeah.
checking things out. You'd be like, "Hey man, what are you doing?"
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah, and like I told your officers, I have no problem with them coming up and making contact with me, voluntary contact. But when it comes to the point of an unlawful detainment, now you're holding up my freedom of movement.
Okay, well, we're investigating what was going on. Okay.
Yeah, but
officers are trying
as
to
a
get
sergeant,
things-
you should know that your officer here didn't know what reasonable articulable suspicion was. So he said he's never heard of it. You guys don't use that here. Is that true?
No, what I said was I never heard the way you described it. First of all,
Reasonable
first thing you
articulable suspicion. You said you didn't know what that was.
said- No. As far as how we conduct business, we don't conduct business.
Well,
the same
I'm
way you do.
gonna teach you something. In
No, I'm
order
gonna teach you something. We
in
don't
order to
conduct business
detain
the same way
somebody,
you do.
you
We
need
don't speak the way you
reasonable,
That's
articulable
fine.
suspicion.
You can
That's
say
not
that.
speaking
I
the
don't
way
speak
I
like that.
do.
Like you just said, everybody's different, right?
So
I don't
when you
speak like
detain
that.
somebody, what's your burden of proof? What do you have? What do
I
you
just
do?
said I
You just
don't
say
put-
you just
I
go
don't
to
put those
random.
words
Guys,
together.
hey,
You just
stop.
go to random people and say you're.
What is he doing? Sir, officer, yeah, we do have a question, please. Thank you. Yeah, can we just get your name and badge number, please, officer?
Yeah, send me to you. Back up, please. Back up from me, please.
I was here.
Ma'am, back up from me.
Okay, I'll back up. Can we have your name and badge
How can I
number?
help?
Can I have your name and badge number?
How can I
please?
help you?
Can I have your name and badge number,
How
please?
can I help you?
You dropped some.
She's asking for your name and badge number.
How can I help you, ma'am?
I just need your name and badge number. That's all
How
I'm
can I
asking.
help
I'm asking, could you please identify yourself?
I need you to create some distance for me, please.
Public servant, we need your name and badge number. You came out of the car and came up to us, okay?
How far back do you want us to step? I'll step one step back.
Yeah, let's give him some space to
Okay.
breathe, Amy.
Do you feel comfortable now to give us your name and badge number, sir?
That blue line flag.
Oh, he's got blue line. Oh, yes, he does. That tells you a lot. Can we please have your name and badge number? We'll be on our way. I mean, I can see it, but I would prefer you verbalize it according
How
to
can
your
I help?
policy.
How can I
You
help?
can help me by giving your name and badge
How
number.
can I help you?
I would like to have your name and badge number, please,
How
sir.
can I help you, ma'am?
You can. I don't know. Do you not understand English?
How can I help
need
you?
your name and badge number.
Well, you're stepping closer to her now, sir.
can I help you?
I'm gonna need you to back up.
How can I help you?
We need your
please
name
have
and
your
badge
name?
How can I
number.
help you?
You
We
can
need
help us by
help.
giving your name and badge number, please, sir.
How can I help you?
I guess this is
guys
gonna
must-
be
you guys-
circles.
Different
You guys
language.
need-
I don't know. I don't get it.
Is this a 911 emergency? Do you need any help with something?
Did we call
Do you
911?
need help with something?
Did we call 911? Yes
help
or
with
no? Yes, we need your name and badge number.
Have a nice day.
It's against your policy not to
approach-
give
do
us
not approach
your
my
name
car.
and badge number.
Do not approach my vehicle.
That's our vehicle.
That vehicle belongs to
Step
us, sir.
away
It's
from my
not your
vehicle, ma'am.
vehicle. It's ours. It's not yours. You don't own it. We, the people, own it. We're letting you use it. And you're lucky you got
Step
a job
away from my vehicle
because
now.
you don't even identify it. And I will
As a matter
be.
of fact, I need you guys to identify yourselves. So I don't know who you are.
What is your reasonable articulate suspicion that you think we've committed a crime? Are we being detained, sir?
Yes, you are now detained because I'm asking you to identify yourself. I don't know who you guys are.
For what crime, sir? For what crime? What crime did we commit, sir? What is your reasonable articulate suspicion, sir, that we've committed a crime?
Identify themselves and then approaching and surrounding my police vehicle.
We're not surrounding your vehicle, sir. Come on now. Don't be silly. We just want your name and badge number.
That's all we asked for.
No, don't walk away. You gotta identify.
You're not gonna identify.
For what crime did we commit? We're on. What crime did we commit? What crime did we commit? No, you don't. You're not getting our ID. We didn't commit a crime, sir. I'm going to formally request for a supervisor, please.
He's a sergeant. He thinks that he can get our ID with no crime.
Please step away from me.
Need to see your identification, your identification, your identification.
What crime did you suspect
I
me
need to see your
to commit?
identification.
What crime did you suspect me of committing? Tell me, sir. Look, I have no pockets on me. I have no weapons,
I
nothing.
need you to identify yourself.
What crime did I
Are you
commit?
refusing to identify yourself, ma'am?
I don't answer
Are you
questions.
refusing to identify yourself?
I want to know what crime did I commit? Wow, look at this, guys. Hey, guys, share this video. Where's your supervisor?
I need to see your identification.
What crime did I commit,
You
sir?
were given several orders to step away from me. You refused. You
I-
have your identification.
So
Are you
what?
refusing to
Wait,
identify yourself?
I don't answer questions.
Are you
What
refusing to identify yourself?
question? I never
Are you
approached.
refusing to identify
I never
yourself?
approached your vehicle, sir.
Are you refusing
Please
to
step
identify
away
yourself?
from me. I don't answer questions.
Are you refusing to identify
I don't answer questions.